Well, Spencer, it's great to have you back on the show. I'm very excited to have you again. It hasn't been as long since we talked to one of you guys, or I guess I should say girl, because the last time we had Erica on, and that was a lot of fun. But since then, you guys have not only dropped a new single, but have announced the release of an upcoming record, and I'm excited to talk about all of that, man. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So now, what's the deal? I mean, I know you guys are working on new stuff, or I guess at this point it's probably just about done. But what's it been like putting together this new record? And tell us a little bit about it.
It's been great. Slightly interesting in some aspects, but we've kind of been like balancing our real lives and balancing music, which I think a lot of the music industry does these days because it's just a interesting time in the industry. So the record was actually written barely a month, maybe a few weeks before we actually went into the studio.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So at the same time, I think it's one of our most genuine and real life, written albums. So like everything is just very straightforward and real. There's no like trying to put on some sort of facade or anything. So aspect two, it's been like a really good album to write. Really got to dig deep and hit some really deep concepts and such.
Okay. Nice. So what you're trying to say is, I mean, you guys like start writing the record like a week before you went into the studio?
It was probably like, I want to say like a month.
Oh, okay.
Like 2 weeks.
Okay.
Like we really I don't know. We like waited right until the last minute and just kind of started throwing things together.
A man after my own heart. I love it. I have been accused of being a procrastinator, so I can totally understand where you're coming from there. Now, and in a way that kind of excites me, and I'm gonna have to ask forgiveness of listeners because I've had discussions about this before, but I honestly think some of my favorite records are the ones that weren't overthought. So I actually kind of am excited to see how it turns out, because it always feels like to me whenever bands start talking about, we've been working on this record for the last 3 years, we've been in the studio every chance we got, and I'm just like, oh no. It's like you have over processed this thing way too much. It's like, this is a record made by a committee. If it took 3 years in a studio to make it, this is not going to be good.
Right. No, I mean, we got a lot of our passions into it. I think that's the cool part about writing it so close to recording.
Yeah.
Is that we literally just got down like what concepts are most important, and then we just got passionate and wrote. And I think it shows. Like, this is probably one of our favorite albums that we've ever written.
Nice.
So
very cool. Very cool. And it drops on Halloween. Now, come on. Now we know that that's not okay. I mean, that's an unholy day. I mean, you can't be doing that. Of course, if that was actually true, then there would be so many Demon Hunter records that would be so unholy, because it felt like for the first 2 or 3 years it always dropped within 1 or 2 days of Halloween, and it was for
shining light in the darkness, man.
There you go.
Light in the darkness.
There you go, man. There you go. So the album is going to be called The Other Side, and as we just alluded to, it comes out on Halloween. How do you feel like, as far as sonically or stylistically, it fits in with your previous records?
It doesn't fit in.
Oh, okay.
Stylistically, we still kept the hard rock feel.
Okay.
But we kind of took a more, genuine approach. Like we went back to kind of our roots.
Okay.
Which is kind of like the grunge 90s, like good hard heavy metal stuff.
Okay.
But like we mixed it in with like good melodic, like modern rock. And so, it'll be similar. You'll know it's Scarlet White, but you'll definitely still see like the maturity of songwriting and everything, because this album will be self-produced.
Okay.
100%. And so, it'll just be straight from us, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So. I got you. Cool. You guys spent a decent amount of time on the road, and you guys were on the City Rock Fest tour with Seventh Day Slumber and some other bands that I'm sure must have been a fun experience, or at least a notable experience at the very least.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel like the touring, which seems like it's ramped up a little bit from before, how do you feel like that touring influenced the record?
Well, we always write our stuff based on like just what's happening in the world, and like, because we get messages daily, tons and tons of messages, so we see like where our fans are hurting, and where they need encouragement, and just where they really just need to be grabbed, picked up, and just kind of carried along. So touring, we got to see like firsthand, we got to like meet people in person and say, hey, how's your walk going? How are you doing? What's your story? And then I think seeing how how real our stories connect to other people's, it really just kind of opened us up to a whole new level of connection. Like we can really connect with these people now. So just getting that personal interaction just really helped kind of drive it all home.
Yeah, for sure. Now, do fans often come up to you and express kind of a connection to your music in a way that you maybe didn't expect from a certain song?
Yeah, often. I mean, I never really expected people to actually be touched by my music or our music.
Right.
Like we hope for that, but like we're not those big-headed ego freaks that are like everyone's gonna love our stuff. So like,
yeah,
when people like come up to us and like, hey, your song "Breathe," like that really pulled me out of a dark time. I was like, it just kind of blows us away. Pretty much any song has that effect.
Nice, very cool. Well, now the new single, if I'm not remembering incorrectly, is called "Silence."
Yes.
Tell us about that song specifically, because I know we're going to be playing it during the show, then during this show, and we want to make sure that people kind of have some kind of glimpse into maybe not just like kind of what went into maybe recording the song or writing it, but also kind of the meaning behind it for you.
Yeah. That song musically, we did some different things like time changes and stuff that you won't even notice. Like it's so beautifully done. We were super impressed with ourselves that we got that lucky.
Nice.
Like,
I love those moments where it's like, yes, I pulled that off.
right. And but like story wise, it was really personal because there was a church that was going through some seriously dark stuff where the pastor was kind of messing around with someone that he was counseling, and a bunch of like really dark stuff happening.
Mm-hmm.
And like going through all the stories you hear about churches and pastors, and we kind of took that, and there's some twist along the way, but there's also the angle of like the person crying for help. So you have the person that's looking for attention in the wrong ways, in the wrong places, and they know that eventually it's gonna like turn on them. So silence is from the perspective of the outsider looking in, saying, you're crying wolf, you're gonna get what you got coming to you, and they run into this corrupt person that just kind of like takes advantage of it.
Yeah.
So it's a warning. It's a big warning of just like, make sure that you're not doing things with the wrong intentions, that you take stock of what means most to you and what's an actual issue, and just improve on yourself, and don't cry wolf just for attention. That's only going to do more damage than good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's an interesting concept. I felt like it was needed to be said.
Yeah. Well, I can honestly say I don't think I've ever heard that, at least as a single. I don't think I've ever heard that theme specifically addressed, which I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all, but it is a new one definitely for me. So I think that's interesting.
We're definitely not sugarcoating anything.
Right.
So,
right. Well,
this is
I think that especially for a heavy genre, whether it's Christian or not, I think that's the last thing that most fans want is, they want you to be real.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny because I think that so often you'll see bands, get hammered from both sides. I mean, on the Christian side, usually if they're going to get nailed for something, it's for being disingenuous because of something that gets found out about them that doesn't quite jive with the image that people either A, expect them to have, or B, that they should have somehow.
Right.
And then on the flip side, I think so often in like the mainstream rock world, people get slammed because they're just not the image that they're portraying. And it doesn't matter if it's a good image or a bad image. It's just you're selling us something that isn't you.
Yeah.
Just be yourself. And I think that's interesting. I think it's interesting that whether it's, that people just want realness, and I think it's interesting that that's kind of an inert need that people have. And sometimes I guess it takes a while for people to get there. Sometimes people just want to be told what they want to hear.
Right.
But, that's appreciated. And I think that's interesting. Because to me, I mean, like, even if you're wrong, at least you were trying to be honest about where you were.
Right.
At least then you can say, look, but this is where I was at the time, and things change. But this is where I'm at now. So I think that's good. I think that's good.
It's just much needed. Like, in this time, realness is like, it's few and far between.
Oh yeah.
So just having that genuine aspect.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Now, with you guys doing the new record entirely self-produced, what were some of the hurdles to overcome with that, or challenges that you guys went through doing this on your own, because I think that's one of those things that so many times people hear and they're like, oh, well, that's not that hard. All you need is a laptop and a couple of microphones, and yeah, there you go. It's all good. But what were the challenges like putting together the other side?
There weren't too many challenges, really.
Wow.
We got hooked up with a really good studio that we recorded the In-Between with. That's GCR Audio over in Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
So we rented that studio out and we used their engineers, and then this is going to be mixed by the same person that mixed the In-Between too.
Oh, okay.
Mike Langford.
Okay.
And so really it was pretty smooth sailing, all except for that big old giant, the financial money side of things.
What? Money? No, that's not a problem in the music industry. You're loaded. Don't lie to the people, man. That's not cool.
Right. I mean, we tried to do something completely different, fund it ourselves. We weren't going to do any crowdfunding. We were like, we got this. We got going, and we're like, shoot, we don't got this.
Right.
But I mean, we are extremely blessed. There are so many people that just behind the scenes love and adore us that I don't know why they do, but they do. And we've had some very substantial supporters just kind of help donate and push us ahead. And so we've gotten so far with this, but we're still having to push that one more little IndieGoGo campaign to get that last little bit off the top.
Yeah.
So we've been blessed.
Nice.
Well,
why don't you tell people about the IndieGoGo campaign? Because I'm sure that there are people who have missed that. So, so you guys are trying to raise the last little bit of money so that the record can be paid for in full. I'm assuming.
Yes.
But tell us about what that looks like now. Like what do people need to do?
I don't think there's much time left, really.
Oh, okay.
So,
so at this point, just try and pick up the record if you can.
Right. Absolutely. No, it's typical. You get the pre-order, you get special giveaways. We give you silence for free right off the bat, and you get cool. We're doing a calendar of just pictures that we've taken on the road, because we're huge explorers. So we go everywhere that you shouldn't and take pictures. We're doing a bunch of cool stuff, like acoustic home giveaways.
Ooh.
We'll go play an acoustic show wherever you want us to, as long as you pay for that perk.
Yeah. Cool.
So, I mean, you get some good stuff.
There you go, man. There you go. Cool.
Yeah.
So at this point, do you guys have plans to tour to support the new record? I mean, I know we're still just at the time that we're recording this anyway, we're about a month and a week and a half away from it coming out. But what are the plans for after the record comes as far as shows go?
We're going to try to keep pushing ourselves in whichever direction we can. There isn't too much on the books right now, but we're definitely in cahoots with a few options. So
okay,
there may be some announcements coming up, may not. We'll see. But we got our big Germany trip coming up here in October.
Nice.
Head over there and play with Demon Hunter and Project 86 and Decipher Down. So
sweet. Now, does this have anything to do? Is this in any connection with the Christmas Rock Night thing?
I don't believe so. It's another festival up there called, I don't know what it's called.
That's okay.
What is it? Live and Loud, I think. Live and Loud.
Sure. I don't know. I see that it's in Schulzenhof. It sounds.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at the date right now, and I don't know. But anyway,
right.
but it's in Germany, and it's a separate deal. So now, how did that come about? I mean, not to say that you guys are chop liver or anything close to that, but to be playing along with Demon Hunter, Project 86, and Decipher Down, that's some illustrious company to be keeping.
Oh yeah, no, with all the touring we've been doing these past few years, we've really gotten to meet a lot of cool people that have really kind of took us under the wing, so to speak. And they've given us some opportunities and definitely helped us out along the way. So, we picked our connections.
There you go. Yeah. It's who you know. I like that. So now, have you guys ever been to Germany before?
Oh, we haven't. No, this will be a first. I've never even been on a plane. Now I get to fly over the sea for my first.
Oh my goodness. They're going to break you in hard, man.
Right. I'm
Wow.
not nervous at all, I promise.
Well, that's good. That's good. I mean, and now, if lest you feel weird about that, the first time I got on a plane was on my honeymoon, and I
Nice.
wasn't horribly thrilled about that because I'm like, because you don't want to look like a weenie on your honeymoon.
Right.
It's like, yes, 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 I'm the man in your life now. I was like, oh great, I gotta get on a plane. So yeah, I totally feel that, man. Yeah, that'll be fun. I mean, I've heard some fun stories about Germany from people who have played Christmas Rock Night, and it always seems like there's something interesting. They always seems like somebody finds a new favorite food over there. So that'll be cool. Well,
I'm gonna try it all out, man.
Hey,
do it all.
Yeah, you got to, man. You got to. That's fantastic. Sweet deal. So now, is there any other future plans in the works at this point? I mean, the album drops on October 31st, and I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I know a lot of fans are as well. But is there anything else that's kind of in the works that you can share with us at this point?
Not specifically that I can share.
Okay.
But it's just the typical music videos, radio pushes, touring. We're just gonna do it all.
All right.
Go hardcore.
Cool. Awesome deal, man. Awesome deal. Well, cool. Now, it's been forever since we've talked, since you and I have talked. And so if I've asked you this before, either A, forgive me, or B, find a new fun and good answer, or act like I haven't asked you this before, and then you can give me the same one. But
I'm sure I forgot, so I'll probably just act like it.
That's all right. That's all right. What would you say at this point in your life, as a lead vocalist of a rock and roll band, is the most un-rock and roll thing about you?
Oh, man. About me in general, or something that happened?
No, just about you in general. Okay. It could be a personality trait, a habit, something that you like, anything along those lines.
I don't know.
The kind of thing that when you find yourself doing it, you're going, oh, yeah, this is an odd thing for a lead singer of a rock band to do.
Right. I mean, it's kind of hard because I'm a tattoo artist that rides motorcycles.
Oh!
So it's really like
mic
rock
drop.
And roll at a kid. But
well, there is that.
I don't know. I don't know what else.
I don't know, man. You're setting the bar pretty high there.
I mean, I wear VNecks.
Oh, come on. That's rock and roll. Plus, they're just more comfy. I'm with you on the VNecks, man. They always seem tight. Like normal shirts.
Not too deep.
Yeah, as long as it's not too deep, yeah. But I feel you. I mean, whenever I'm wearing like it feels like half the crew neck shirts I ever buy, I'm always kind of pulling on it. It always feels like somebody's trying to choke me. It's not cool. It's not cool.
For sure. But I mean, I guess what I hear most is like just about how like chill and quiet we are.
Oh, okay.
All of us, like, and me too,
Yeah.
Like we're all like super quiet, super chill, just minding our own business, and then we get up on stage and it's like, you guys have turned into completely different people. So
yes, I understand.
I guess that's like a lot of people out there,
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much any artist you run into, they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Off stage, and they get on stage, and it's like, where did that come from?
Right. Yeah, the first time I ever interviewed Brian Head Welch, I was halfway convinced he was going to fall asleep. He was just like such an extreme mellow dude. I'm like, wow, this is weird. It's like, it's cool, it's just like you. I mean, you're fun to talk to, and you're cool, and you're chill, but he was just so chill that it was weird. But, yeah. But anyway, well, that's cool, dude. That's cool. I like that. Fantastic. All right, dude. Well, is there anything else that you want to throw out there that we haven't talked about, or anything that you just want to promote or get off your chest?
I think we hit pretty much everything. We got the IndieGoGo, we got the new record and the new single out there.
Cool deal, man. Dude, well, thank you so much for taking the time. It's always fun to get a chance to catch up with you, and hopefully we'll get a chance to catch you guys out on whatever mystery tour will be the next one here in the States. And
for sure.
Can't wait to see how far the new single goes, man. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me again.